Hello and welcome to Nick Tries Things, a show where I try things. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and there could be better weather. But it doesn't matter, because I have a coconut Dr. Pepper. Yes, indeed. The elusive, hard to find, for me at least, coconut Dr. Pepper. I have one of these, and it's also this is my Stitch Christmas hat. This is my Stitch Christmas hat, and this is your Christmas Day special episode of Nick Tries Things. I have been waiting for this for a long time. Since I found out it was a thing, I've wanted to try it. And I went to America and I couldn't find it anywhere. And a friend of mine called Nas, thank you so much for getting this for me. No matter what happens when I open it and drink it, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I went to America to try and find this in September. I couldn't get it in Florida. And my friend Nas was over in New York, and he just messaged me just before he was getting on the plane and said, "Hey, I'm in New York at the moment. Is there anything you want me to bring you back?" I said, "Well, I don't think you'll find it, but I've been trying to get myself a coconut flavoured Dr. Pepper." And within about half an hour, he took a picture of the Dr. Pepper, and it made my day, made my week. I think that week it was a rough week. But another good friend of mine, Y2, he said that I should share some of my past history with Dr. Pepper. So, me and Y2 met in 2003, and on a Wednesday night we would go to our local pub, which was the Valentine. It was my local, but it was local to him too. But it's called the Valentine in Gants Hill. It's no longer there. And Wednesday night was karaoke night, and we would go every Wednesday pretty much without fail, while Russell, the host of the karaoke night, would serenade us with his version of Kid Creole and the Coconuts' Stool Pigeon, Ha Cha Cha Cha. So it ties in nicely with coconut Dr. Pepper, right? But I didn't drink Dr. Pepper in the pub. But what I did do is when we left the pub, we would nearly always go to Gants Hill Kebab, because it was one of the few places open at that time of night on a Wednesday, get some food, and I would buy not one, not two, often not three, but mostly 4 cans of Dr. Pepper, because I wanted to take them home so I had them to drink later in the week. I would drink one while I was eating my food, and the rest would come back to me. I had a little fridge in my room, and they would go in there. Why I did that rather than just buy multi-packs from the supermarket like normal people, I can't tell you. But I lived for Dr. Pepper for years and years. It was my soft drink of choice, and it only got superseded by Cherry Pepsi Max a few years afterwards. So that is pretty much my history of Dr. Pepper, and how that ties into my friendship with Y2. But Dr. Pepper is interesting because I always just assumed Dr. Pepper was just Dr. Pepper, that was it. And I remember the first time I ever saw Dr. Pepper, must have been 5 or 6. And it was in the fridge in my local newsagent, where I'd always get like a can of Coke, because it was the 80s and we was allowed to drink cans of Coke when we were like 4 and 5. And my dad said, "Oh, do you want a can of Dr. Pepper?" And I went, "Oh no." And he said, "Why? Why did you say that?" And I said, "Well, because I hate peppers." Because I was convinced Dr. Pepper was a peppered flavoured drink. I don't think that's too crazy when you think about it, because most of the time things are named after a certain item of, food. That's what it tastes like. But I digress. So it was only in my teens that I tried Dr. Pepper and loved it. But I always just assumed Dr Pepper was its own thing. It just was Dr Pepper and that's it. But they do loads and loads of varieties of Dr Pepper. In America, in the UK, we just get Dr Pepper. And there's this whole weird thing as well with Dr Pepper where it's in the UK and certain parts of the world, Coca-Cola manufacture it and distribute it. In other parts of the world, it's PepsiCo. In America, it's mostly owned by Dr Pepper. It's very strange. But Dr Pepper has been expanding its flavours in the US. You get things like cream soda, strawberries and cream, cherry flavour, which I always thought was a bit weird because it's almost got a cherry-like flavour to it anyway, and it's natural flavour. Neutral flavour, shall I say, because, I mean, there's nothing natural in a Dr Pepper, but you know what I mean, like the regular Dr Pepper. But it's like close to overtaking Pepsi as the second biggest soft drink brand in America, which is crazy because it always just seemed to be a drink that you sometimes got on occasion, and now it's catching up with Pepsi, which is always like the number 2 brand. So here we are, Dr Pepper, creamy coconut, naturally and artificially flavoured. Can we see what those are? Caramel colour, natural. It just says natural and artificial flavours, even in the instructions. Dr Pepper 7-Up Inc. produced under the license or the authority of Dr Pepper 7-Up Inc. Frisco, Texas. Yeah, so 7-Up is another brand that in some parts of the world is owned by Pepsi. It's strange. Here we go. I hope you are as excited as I am to try this. A lid that comes right off. Remember when that used to happen all the time? Not in the UK. It's surprisingly flat. There are bubbles, but you know, you notice when I opened the bottle, like there wasn't like a huge. So that's weird. Sometimes you get that, sometimes you don't. But you can definitely smell some coconut in there. Wish me luck. There was 2 ways this episode was going to go. Either I was going to be massively disappointed or massively happy with how this tasted. It's a winner. That is nice. That's really nice. It tastes like Dr Pepper, but you've got this very noticeable coconut flavour in the background. And it just works. It really works. You do get it when you first sip it, but I'd definitely say more in the aftertaste. You get that. Man. The only disappointment I have is that it's not a flavour over in the UK. Although in some ways that's really good actually, because that could get quite dangerous for me. I have to give it a 10. It's delightful. I'm going to have to find somewhere that does imports so I can get some more, because I can't just have this one. I've already You know, I've got a little bit left in that bottle. And then it's gone. So I need to find somewhere getting some more. But coconut, creamy coconut, Dr. Pepper is a winner. If you like Dr. Pepper and you like coconut, you have to give this a try. If you're not keen on either of those, this isn't going to work for you, brother. I understand. And I would not suggest otherwise. But if you like that, if you like those two things, this is really, really good. Yeah. The campaign for creamy coconut Dr. Pepper to come to the UK starts now. And I'll be vote number 1. But, yeah, 10 out of 10. I love that. And thank you for everybody who has spent any time watching any of my videos this year. There will be some more in the new year. And, you know, please like, share, subscribe. I hit my first milestone this year of 100 subscribers, and I'd love to increase that going forward. But to anyone that's given any of these the time of day, thank you so much. I do this as a bit of fun, and the fact that people seem to like it is great, and I really do appreciate it. So yeah, have a lovely Christmas, and see you in 2025 without this, because I mean that is hot and yeah, quite annoying, but see you in 2025.